We're taking calls at 617-830-4750. Why don't we go next to our caller from the 314 area code? Who's calling today from 314?
Hi, David. My name's Josh. I'm from St. Louis.
Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Hey, I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller, and I actually became more politically aware just like a few years ago at the 2016 election. And I was very more conservative on a lot of stuff because my family was conservative. But once I actually started reading and learning more, I kind of crossed that line, and I started to become more liberal and then just more progressive.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, and so anyway,
well, Josh,
I
before
just
you
wanted
go
to
on,
ask.
I mean, I'm curious, was there any particular issue where you realized, wow, what the right is selling on this issue is just totally wrong, and it was like a big catalyst for getting you to revise your political beliefs?
Well, one of the things was I never really realized the hypocrisy. I just kind of like I was raised by my grandparents, and they're very pretty conservative, and I just kind of took what they said, at face value, and I'm like, okay, these are morals. And then my household was also very religious growing up, and so I just like, okay, I took this, and it was really the I guess I realized the hypocrisy at the pro-life, pro-choice
Mm.
thing, because my grandfather is he's anti-big government. And then I heard an argument from years ago, I think on the Young Turks. It was, hey, like having the government come in and tell you, hey, you want to control what a woman does. That's big government. I'm like, okay, that is. And I took it to my grandpa, and then he was kind of hypocritical on it. And I realized, okay, and I started noticing all the trends of hypocrisies.
Interesting.
Like they're not principled in their ideology.
Got it.
And so,
Interesting.
yeah. So my question to you is, you kind of dedicate, your career is, political commentary. Like you're in it like all the time. And so, I find myself getting very fatigued. It's hard just kind of talking to people constantly about it. And then it's just like my issue is that, I'm around so many people that are more right wing, and then so much of my energy just gets drained. Like someone like you, like how do you find the energy to just keep doing it, pushing on and on, just being so deep into it?
Well, listen, I mean, number one, I would suggest finding some left-wing people to be around. I don't know, St. Louis is a big enough city that there are probably like drinking liberally or some local Democrats group or something. Like I would definitely try to spend time around people where you don't even, it's not to talk politics, it's not to talk left-wing politics necessarily, but it's just to know that you're around people who are like you in terms of ideology, because it is fatiguing to constantly be around people that fundamentally have a worldview and even in some cases like a moral code that seems so antithetical to what you believe. So in my like personal life, there's very few conservative people around me. That's the reality, and I think that that's a really good
Right.
thing. And I basically don't talk about politics outside of the show. So my strategy is on the
Uh,
weekends, as much as possible, I stay off social media and don't do any tweeting or thinking about politics to the extent that I can. In my sort of like day-to-day life, I'm mostly around people who more or less share my ideology, and I don't talk about politics with them. I'm just around people who share my values and ideology. And those are the two things that I would suggest you try to do. And I think in St. Louis, it's more than possible.
right. All right. Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right. Great to hear from you. Appreciate the phone call. Let's take a quick break, but don't hang up if you're holding, because I will get back to the phones, which are jam packed. Quick break, back after this.